Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Tuesday, July the 11th. The year is 2023. Let's talk trading, dealing with loss. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Yesterday, we had a trading video, and Walmart was trading, and his first trade he took was a loss. And I think he said he took about a 3-pip loss. And then he took another trade in the opposite direction, made part of it back. And then he took a third trade, and I think he made it all back. And so you saw that he just kept trading. The loss didn't cause him to go crazy. He stayed within his risk parameters. I think he took a 3-pip loss. And to him, it was just another trade. He didn't put any more or any less importance on that trade than the one before it or the one after it. He just kept trading. So, how do you deal with a loss? The thing is, a loss is just a loss. But what happens to us humans is that we put meanings on events. So, if you look at the loss as saying that you're a bad trader, or it's like I'll say something like, I'm such a maroon, meaning a moron, if you watch old Bugs Bunny cartoons. Or, you can just take it in stride and shrug it off. No big deal. But what'll happen is sometimes people really go into the doom and gloom. They'll think that they'll try something and they'll say, oh, this is no good, or I'm no good, and they just go into this downward spiral. It doesn't have to be that way. I mean, if you have a loss, maybe the best thing to do is just get up from your trading platform, maybe take a walk, get a cup of coffee, do 10 jumping jacks or push-ups, just something so you let your emotions settle down. That's the big thing. If your emotions have run high, just let your emotions settle down. Come back to normal. Come back to an even keel. And then what you have to do is you have to objectively look at what you did and what happened. If you just went in and you took a trade and you followed all your triggers and you didn't hesitate and you didn't rush and it went against you, well, all that means is it just went against you. Nothing more, nothing less. Just went against you. And then you have to look at the positive. Okay, you took a loss, but let's look at the positives. Hey, I followed my plan. I got in at the right time. I didn't rush it. I didn't hesitate. I took my signals. I had the right position size. I had my stop loss entered correctly. And so all of those are positives. That means you were trading the way you were supposed to trade. So there's no reason to beat yourself up. It's just the market just happened to go against you. I mean, if you look here, this could have been a perfect example. You had a black candle. You had indicator 2 was magenta. It's a flip-flop box to the low. Maybe you took that trade to the south and you'd be down. Or maybe you said, you know what, I'm in a flip-flop box. I see a bunch of green over here. I'm going to go long instead. And you take the trade to the north. But what happens? It starts to go against you. So in either case, you could get bent out of shape over what the market's doing, but the market's just going to do what it does. Or you could just shrug your shoulders, just see what happens, and either take the win or take the loss. Now, and this is the one that gets a lot of traders in trouble, just like the first one, you get emotional, is that you have to look to see if anything needs to change. And you don't sit there and dwell on the negative, because maybe nothing needs to change. And in most cases, nothing needs to change. And that's something that traders have a hard time accepting. They want to go in and do something so they don't take a loss. I mean, you could say that I'm guilty of it. I've written hundreds of indicators and I don't know, what, a dozen systems or whatever that I've come up with, maybe more. Because I'm constantly looking for an edge, constantly looking to make things better. But I'm not usually throwing out many things, Some of the indicators I write, I try out and go, you know what, that doesn't really work. And it just, they just sit there. I don't use them. So you can see here, if you had taken that flip-flop to the north, it would have paid off. And now price is getting rejected off that double O. I kind of wish I would have hit that sell button, but when I'm making videos, I usually don't trade. I'm not good at that. So, what else can you do? What you have to do is say, you know what? I want to improve, and maybe you pick one thing that you find that you can improve on. Maybe your timing's slightly off. Maybe you have a tendency to not trust the signals. So maybe you have to do that just a little bit better. So those are all things that you can do to deal with losses. And if you have any suggestions, shoot, reply to the video. I'd be curious to see how some of you handle your losses. Let's take a look at the charts here. Okay, need to scroll back a bit. Okay, monthly, we're 206 pips above the monthly open right now. 41 off the high, 236 off the low. For the week, 67 above the open, 40, 39 off the high, 145. All gaps have filled on the weekly. Daily, we broke out of yesterday's range by about 27 pips at the moment. For the year, 804 above the open. That's huge. As you can see, we've added to the range for the year now. And yesterday we broke above that inside bar, the weekly inside bar from 3 weeks ago. 80 pip range. The pound New Zealand, the newbie's 221. That's huge. Euro New Zealand 117. New Zealand USD though only 51. That kind of reminds me, as a side note, I don't know how many of you have been paying attention to the news, but the BRICS, those countries that might want to replace the US dollar, they say in a couple of weeks they're going to come out with a gold-backed digital currency. That should be interesting. See what goes on there. I wonder if it's going to flop or if it's going to thrive. Looking here at the buy zone, you can see you had a couple opportunities to enter the buy zone here, or take that week, or take the daily cross. Daily opens above the weekly. Right now, price is dropping back. Now, you know, sometimes we talk about dealing with losses. Those missed trades are the ones that can really mess with you. Because I'm just looking here thinking that shorting at the 99.00 area would have been really sweet. And I know if Walmart was on the video, he probably would have taken that trade. Rat zone range is large enough, and we're about right smack in the middle right now. Bambino flex in this indicator said to go long. Near R1, the bias is short, and so R1's at 29, call it 02. So we got close. We were also near the weekly R1, I see, and the monthly R1. A lot of R1s right there. We have not hit today's pivot. Still haven't hit the monthly pivot. We did take out the weekly, but we have not hit the daily. So we've got that missed pivot that needs to get taken out. Wick zone. This is the daily wick zone. You can see in and out, shot right through it. Upper wick zone only had a range of what? About 7 pips. A little over 7 pips. You can see we're down to the 90. Oh, the trades those missed trades really can mess with you. They even hit indicator 2 and then pulled right back off of it. And for those of you who are wondering, this is somebody was asking about this indicator, and this is just the dashboard right here, and then the other indicators. Got the ATR lines for high low. So we've got the ATR trade, the wick zone, the rat zone, the whole low, and basically highest open. Oh, that's highest open, lowest open, and then reversal off of the current daily high and low. And so you can set up the dashboard how you like. This is just one I use when I'm analyzing, looking for trades, but even I don't use it that much anymore because I'm pretty much focusing on the pound dollar. So, fellow traders, I'd still like to hear how you deal with losses, because losses are part of trading, and how you deal with them is probably more important than how you deal with wins, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.